So good evening everyone. Today we are came to the second day of student development program on core Java concepts with hands-on practices. A resource person, so Dinesh will take care of this session. So now we can I can hand over the sessions to Dinesh. He will be taking care of these sessions.
We have started like Java, like why we are like why we have programming, what is programming and all we have started. So let's revise first. And today's agenda is we are going to cover variables, data types, operators, and then we are going to start like how to get inputs and all, because we need to uh, do some to-do list at the end of this, like not this one, like end of this whole session, right? So that's why. Now what we have seen yesterday is we started with what is programming, and then why programming is needed, and then we have seen different languages, and Java is one of the programming language, and we have seen some Java basics. What is Java actually? It's a high level language which means human readable, and then it is pure object oriented, which means everything which is enclosed using class and objects only. And then it's platform independent. For this one alone, platform independent programming, Java is platform independent. For this, how it's work, how it became platform independent, why we call it as platform independent, actually what is platform independent means, this and all we have seen, right? So to revise it, like Java achieve this one platform independency via what? JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So to run Java, just one thing you need. We are going to convert our Java code .java code into machine code. This is the like end goal. We have to convert this one to machine code. But what we are going to do is, what Java is going to do is Java source code. We are going to convert it into first bytecode, which can be done using what? Java, JAVAC, Java compiler. Java compiler will do that, and that one is converted to bytecode now. Now we have a bytecode. This bytecode I can give to any system which having JVM. So JVM will convert this bytecode to machine code depending upon the system we are going to like use the application. Let's say I'm creating an application in Windows, and then I have the bytecode now. So the same bytecode I can send it to my friend who is using some Linux system. Let's say that Linux system will have JVM, Java Virtual Machine. That bytecode what I have given to him will be converted into again machine code. Got it, right? So write once and you can run anywhere. This features is like it's one of the most like valuable features which we have in Java, which will make it unique also. So features of Java we have seen: simple, object oriented, everything revolves around platform independent, secure. Why it is secure? Because it's how it don't have pointer concept. If you have pointer concept, you can directly access memory, but Java won't allow you to do that. And then the robust multi-threading, it supports multi-threading via JVM, distributed program, high performance. It have some compilers, right? That and all we have seen. Now Java have this J acronyms: JDK, JRE, and JVM. We have seen this, right? First, let's start from JRE. Let's say so Java runtime environment. If you're going to run this Java code, you need this JRE. So JRE will have JVM plus the standard libraries. JRE will have what? This JVM, this one, with some standard libraries. Like if you want to import some math libraries, and then vector you are going to use, string you are going to import, uh, anything, list, arrays, like graphs and all, has and all, if you are going to use that and all come from standard libraries, right? That one JRE will have. And JVM, obviously it's going to convert the bytecode into the machine code. And JVM will also have this like feature, extra features, like it supports multi-threading, garbage collector, it have GC, garbage collector, it automatically frees up the memory and all. This and more, many more things a JVM will contain. This and all we have seen. And then JDK is like a whole kit. Everything you have, you can create a Java application, modify it, you can alter it, you can update it, update the versions, you can like debug it, test it, whatever you want. Like the whole bag you have, you can do anything in Java. That's what JDK. So we have installed a JDK also, Visual Studio Code, using like like normal Google we have installed in our browser. We have installed Visual Studio Code. Let me open it. Visual Studio Code. We have created a folder for that, right? See, practice the Java. Same thing. Now I'm going to write everything from scratch today. And we have also seen the structure of Java program. As I said, Java is purely object oriented. Everything, everything will be like it's roam around classes and objects. For that, you need to know what is a class and what is an object, right? Sorry, my bad. Now, yes, you need to know what is a class basically. So let's don't dive that much deeper. Let's see what is a class. Let's say um you're going to create an car. Let's say you are going to create or a anime character or a hero character in you're creating a game. You're creating a game. You can take any game, whatever you have in your mind. You can take any game. You're going to create the character, game character in that particular game. Let's say hero character. So hero character will have what? He's having some own characteristics, right? Hero will have a name, and then that particular game character will have hero character will have a height, a weight, a age, let's say, or maybe for power, like that, like strength, and then weakness. The character have these are we call as attributes, or as we can like formally call characteristics that the character, game character, the hero have. Let me write it. So a class is basically a blueprint. Class is nothing but a blueprint to create an object. To create an object, a class will contain this one. A class will have always have these two things. The major two, what maybe for now I can call things. It have one is attributes. Attributes, you can call it as, or you can call it as data types, or else formally, sorry, informally you can call it as like analogy, like an analogy you can call it as characteristics. You can remember it like how the object looks like, how the objects look like. Let me come to this again. And the second thing is behaviors. We can call it as methods, or maybe properties. So I need, like I want to make you understand this with an analogy. Same thing like this. Attributes are how the object look like, how the character look like. Is having some name, color. The character have some, let's say anime character, white, gray hair color. This and all what? Attributes. So methods, behaviors, and properties and all now, that one we can say like what the object, what the object can do. Let me create a simple class. So if you take a class now, that will contain these two things, definitely attributes, and then it's another one, another thing, like it's not always necessary that it should contains methods and attributes, but a class will contain this one. Either it will contain some like data types, attributes, and then some methods. Let me create an example. Um let's take a game, talking tom, let's say. Okay, well, everyone knows, right? Because எல்லாம் தேவையில்லை, everyone knows. So let's create a, I'm going to create a game for it. Not, I'm going to create an object which is the he like game character tom. So the syntax will be class. Actually this one is auto correcting. Class, then you are going to name the, like you are going to give a name for the class. Mostly like we will use like uppercase for this. Let's say uh, game character, game character, game character, and then an open and curly brace. So This one will contain two things: attributes, you can call it as data types, or what, characteristics. I'm starting from object oriented programming because see, we didn't see anything about Java, like the theoretical part we have covered. We directly jump into this one, like what is a class and all, what is an object and all. Why? Because Java is purely object oriented. Whenever you're going to write a code now, you directly see, you're going, it will suggest me like you are going to create a class first. Everything you're going to write inside Java code, you need to write it inside some class. So that's why I'm starting with a class. You need to know, right, what is a class actually. So if you're not getting it that much, you don't need to worry about it. Just try to listen. Again, let me repeat. A class is nothing but a blueprint to create an object. Why we need to create an object, that and all we will cover later. Okay, va? So I'm creating a class game character. Okay, va? Game character. It will have these two things, two major things. What? One is attributes and then methods. So methods, or else you can call it as properties. What this character can do, what this character can do. First, டாமுக்கு என்னப்பா எப்படி இருக்கும்? Tom will have maybe name, right? So string name. Then Tom, that game character will have a height, right? Height எல்லாம் increase ஆகும் இல்லையா? So height means let's take integer. Don't see this case and all. இப்போதைக்கு just a pseudo code I'm writing. Int height, and then int weight. Tom will have a weight weight spelling என்னப்பா weight. And then let's take any other data types. Color, let's say string color. Where ஏதாச்சும், what attributes it have? Tom will have age, let's say int age. So this one, if you see, this and all attributes, data types, datas we have given. A class will contain two things. One is attributes and then methods. We have given some attributes for this class, particular class, game character. Name, you have height, weight, color, and then age. So let's give some properties for this game character. What this one, this one is what, how the character will look like, how the game character is going to look like, how the object we are going to create using this class is going to look like. And methods, it's what the game character can do, what the Tom enna seiyum. I'm going to write some methods na functions, right? Nothing but functions means it's going to do some sort, it's going to do some task, sorry, it's going to do some task. So void, it's not going to return anything. Let's say for now, this and all pseudo code, you just need to listen. That's it. Okay, va code syntax error line for the key, you don't need to concentrate. Void. And then Tom, what can Tom can eat, right? Eat function. I'm going to write a function which is like the function when you call this, he can print like system dot out dot print, um, I am eating, like this. Hmm? So let's create another function, sleep. So you're going to make the game character Tom sleep by using this function. He will say like I'm sleeping, like this. Okay, ma? So what we have created here, I'm creating a class. Okay, va? A class will have what, attributes and properties, attributes and methods, this and all attributes, how the character will look like. And methods, you can write like you can write n number of methods, no limit in that. Okay, attributes also. So this is what a class will look like, this is what a class will look like, right? It will contain some attributes and then some methods. Yes. Now, 1 minute. Okay, my bad. Sorry for that. Now let's continue. See, this is what a class is. A class will have a class name and then attributes and then methods. So இதை வச்சு என்னப்பா சொல்ல வரேன் எனக்கு ஒன்றும் புரியல அப்படின்னா, you can create object using this. See, I have created a class, right? How to create an object? How to create an object? You just need to simply write inside your main function. Let's say public static void main. Your main function will be always there, right? String args, string arguments. Inside this main function you are going to create an object for this class, which means what? You're going to create the tom character, you're going to give life, you're going to create an object using this class. I said this one is a blueprint, right? So using this blueprint na enna parukum. Let's say you're creating a car, and while creating a car you will have a blueprint. Okay, wheel வந்து like this type of wheel I'm going to put, this much speed the car will go, go, and then this is the color I'm going to give for the car. Like that you can create n number of cars. Same thing, this blueprint, I have created, you can create n number of toms here with different name, different height, weight. Correct la? Yes, right? So how to create an object? Simple. Class name. What's a class name? Game character. Let's say ரொம்ப பெருசா இருக்கு என்ன நேம், character, character. Okay va? So this class name is character. How to create an object? How to create an object? The class name character, and then your object name tom. You can give any name, you can give any name. Okay va? First class name, then your object name equal to new, again your class name. That's it. By this you can create an object. See, you have created a new object using this blueprint, tom. Correcta? So this is what a class is. A class is nothing but a blueprint. Using that blueprint, using that class, you can create some objects. Why we need to create objects? In the question la varano illaya, why we need to have this class and all, object and all? Because like in, let's take C programming na, it doesn't contain this classes and all, class objects அப்படின்ற கான்செப்ட்ஸே அதுல இல்ல இல்லையா C languageல. Why we have this? You're going to see this in this end of this session. Particularly in this session, at the end we are going to see this. For now I just want to understand, I just want you to understand like what is a class, what is an object. So using an object, you like this object I have created tom object na, tom dot eat அப்படின்னு கொடுத்தா, tom dot, if you call this one, it will print like I am eating. If you call this one using your created object tom dot sleep is that right, sleep, it will print like I am sleeping. And then you can set attributes also. Tom dot weight, weight 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 equal to 55, no அவ்வளவு weight இருக்காதுல்ல, 15 kilograms. Like this you can set the weight also. See, you are actually creating an object. See, you can create any object, which will have some attributes and methods. Let's say you are creating a pen, let's say pen, class pen. You're going to create some object pen. For that you are going to create some class, you are writing some class. A class will work like a blueprint, right? So let's say penனுக்கு name இருக்கும் இல்லையா, pen height, pen weight, pen color, age இருக்காது. And then you can give like string type, pen type, either it will be ballpoint pen, ink pen, like that. And then lifetime if you want to give, maybe in horse or like months, let's say int lifetime. Capacity int, or double capacity. Like this you can, like you can create any object. For rather writing the methods for eat and sleep, for pen you can write like what a pen can do, what the object can do. It can write, it can strike, it can draw. Using that pen you're going to kill someone, let's say just for fun, you can kill. like that. A pen, what a pen can do, you can write methods for it, like properties, functions for it, right? So how the object look like, how the pen is going to look like, you can create objects for it. So we have taken so much time to cover just what's a class and what is an object. I think you are getting it. Now we can enter the structure of Java. So everything you're going to write inside a Java code, you are going to create a class first for that, right? So class, let's say I'm going to create a class name. See, I'm going to give the same name, practice. Let's say practice, and then public public static void main string args. Let me clarify your doubts now. See, நான் என்ன சொன்னேன்? A class will have what? Attributes and methods. In this class practice, in this class called practice, I don't have any attributes. I don't have any attributes here. But I have some methods. I have some methods like this class practice, what it can do. I have a method called main. This one is a function, right? Main function. You call it as main function only, right? I'm writing a function. I'm writing a method here. Inside this, I'm going to write all my Java program, all my Java code, because this one is the entry point. Seri, a class and attributes methods இருக்கணும்னு சொன்னீங்க. ஓகே, attributes எழுதணும்னா எழுதலாம், methods எழுதணும்னா எழுதலாம், இல்ல அப்படியே விடணும்னு விடலாம், அதுவும் ஓகே. But whenever you are creating a class and you are writing some methods now, you need to access it by creating an object only. You can access this methods, you can access this methods. See, here I am, I write some eat, sleep and all. You need to create an object first. You need to create one object using this class, using this class, using this class, and then you can access these things, and then you can access these things. ஆனா இங்க நம்ம அந்த மாதிரி எதுவும் பண்றோமா? No, right? I created one class practice, and then I'm writing a method called main method, but I'm not creating any object for this class practice. எங்கேயாச்சும் இந்த மாதிரி எழுதி இருக்கேனா? Do I write written like this practice object 1 equal to new practice like this? இப்படி எழுதிட்டு from this object 1 I'm trying to access the main method? No, right? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But how, when, like, how the function will work, how the class will, how the program will run then? Without creating an object and calling this main method, how the program will run? You need to ask this question, right? So for this, I have used this keyword static. Static, if you put a method, like, see, we will see what is a method, what is a function. Basically function ஒண்ணுமே இல்லமா, simple. When you are going to create a function is nothing but it will take some inputs and return some output, அவ்வளவுதான். So let's say I have written a function here, right? See, void eat, and then it's not taking any input here for now, for the time being. It's not taking any input here, but it's giving me some output. So this is what a function is. A function will have this one, return type, and then the function name, and then input parameters. If you're going to pass input parameters, then open and close brackets, then your logic here, you're going to write your logic here. This will return something as output, depending upon the task you give or the logic you write here. So this is what a function is. Method என்னென்ன இருக்கும்? Return type means this function what it's going to return. Let's say I'm going to write a function to add two numbers. அப்ப என்னென்ன வேணும்? You need two numbers, right? As input you need two numbers, and what it will return as output? The addition of two numbers. So what is the return type? It's going to return an integer. So int, and then function name, let's say some function, and then input parameters. I think it's visible. input parameters, let's say int a comma int or like num1 comma int num2, correct? Int num1 comma num2, and it's going to return what? Return num. This one is pseudo code. இந்த மாதிரி ரிட்டனுக்கு ஆர் கேப்ஸ்ல இன்ட் கேப்ஸ்லாம் வராது, ஓகேவா? ஐம் ஜஸ்ட் ரைட்டிங் அ சூடோ கோட் ஹியர். ஜஸ்ட் யூ நீட் டு நோ த கான்செப்ட்ஸ் பண்ணும். ஏன்னா நம்ம கோட் அடிப்போம். தட் டைம் ஐ வில் டெல் யூ வாட் இஸ் த சின்டாக்ஸ், கரெக்ட் சின்டாக்ஸ். த சின்டாக்ஸ் இஸ் ரிட்டர்ன் டைப் யூ நீட் டு மென்ஷன், then function name, any name you can give, and then input parameters. If you are going to pass, it's not necessary. See, this function it doesn't have any input parameters. It's just going to print something. In that case you don't need to give any input, right? So here I'm going to sum two numbers, num1 plus num2. It's returning. This is what a simple function will look like. Okay, திருப்பி நம்ம கதைக்கு வருவோம். Here main function, inside main function, this, see, return type, I'm not going to return anything in this main function. That's why I give main. Okay va? In like, if you are going to return integer, if this main function is going to return an integer, I need to put int here. If it's going to return a double, I can put double here. But here this main function is not going to return anything. It's just an entry point. So void na enna, like you don't need to return anything. Void return type, and then function name, and then this public public protected private இதெல்லாம் வந்து access modifiers. Public means you can access this main function anywhere. For now you just need to remember it like this. ஏன்னா object oriented programming பார்க்கறப்போ you see this depth, in depth, okay va? For now, time being, public, you can access this method anywhere, inside the class, inside the file, outside the file, like that you can remember. So public, you know now what is public. Void as a return type, main the function name, and then input I'm giving here. This one also we will see in depth in the like next sessions. And then what, this keyword static. Yeah, static இங்க போடுறோம் அப்படின்னா, when you put a static keyword here in a main, in a function, this function won't expect to create an object and then like ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்ட் கிரியேட் பண்ணி தான் இந்த மெயின் ஃபங்க்ஷனை ஆக்சஸ் பண்ணணும்னு தேவையில்லை. இஃப் யூ புட் அ ஸ்டாட்டிக் கீவர்ட் ஹியர், let me again go to this example. See, I'm writing a function here, right? Eat, sleep, and all. Maybe I can show it practically, right? So see, I'm going to remove this one. Public void main. Okay, va? Public void main string argument. This one is the function. I'm going to do what? I'm going to simply print something. See, to give an output in the console. In Java, you will write from system. I'm going to system dot output dot print. Print ln means new line. If you write this one print ln, after printing something, it will jump to the cursor will jump to the new line. If you simply write print, the cursor will remain in the same line. Okay, why that's difference? So this is what system dot output dot print. What I'm going to do is, hi everyone is greeting someone, like, okay va? So if I run this let's see the output. I think I need to create the files again. Wait just a minute. Let's create a file. Let's create a new file. We already have it, right? So we don't need to worry. This one. Let's delete this, and then can cmd code dot, it will directly open VS Code in this location. And then I'm going to create a new file, which actually I have created test dot java, let's say that java source code, right? So again I'm going to write the same code, class test, then public void main string args string arguments, then system.out.print hi everyone. So I'm going to run this. Main method not found in the file. Please define what it's saying actually. Please define the main method as okay. Error inge dhaan varudha. Okay, I just confused. See, it's not giving the error in the terminal. I'm just waiting for it. So it directly gives public static void main, like this. You need to write here. Like why? See, main method not found in the file. It's directly saying it. Let's actually wait. Static, if I try to static, then if I click run, I'm getting the output in the terminal now. Hi everyone. See, so என்னன்னா, if I remove this now, I'm going to remove the static, and then what I can do is I can create an object. I can create an object for this class test object equal to new test. This syntax you know, right? To create an object using the class you have created, class name object name equal to new test, and then from this object obj I'm going to call my main function. I'm going to call my main function. I'm not going to pass anything, or hi, I'm going to pass. Shows an error again. The method main string in the type is not applicable for arguments. Actually you can't do ma. Simply you need to know, right? If you are going to create a class now, you need to create an object, then only you can access the methods and attributes inside it. But you are not going to do that. You are going to access this inside methods without creating an object na? That time you need to put static here. Me again come here. If you put static void underneath, and then static void sleep here now, you don't need to create an object, and then you don't need to access it. You can directly access this element. ஒன்னு பண்ணுவோம். Let's create a class. See, I'm going to create a new class, the same tom. Okay va, same tom. Without wasting time, let's just copy paste it, or else pen or any name. Just I'm going to paste here class pen, and then this I need to rename this one. So I'm just removing it, and then I'm going to write some new methods, which is like void this pen can write uh, pen writing. Okay va? Pen writing, and then I'm going to create another method void uh, strike using this pen. I'm going to strike something, so it print like pen striking, like this it's printing. Okay va? So let's do one thing. See, this one, I'm this method na, write method strike method, I'm not declaring it as a static method. It's not a static method. So if I try to call this method using this function name, method name, right? If I run it, actually it's showing error. The method right is undefined for the type test. It's showing what? See, if you hover here, it's showing some squiggly here, right? Showing some error here. What error? The method right is undefined. But if you write a keyword static, and then you can access it actually, and then you can what? Access it actually. The method right is again why it's showing. I need to write public maybe here also. Public static void main. this class name is changed here, right? So I'm going to write it inside the same class. Then only the confusion will. So I have created a class. I have created a class inside. See, everything you're going to enclose it inside a class only. So this is the, like, maybe you can call it as a father class. Maybe for no parent class, sorry. Parent class. So in the class main function, and then you're going to create some classes and all. It will be inside this class only. That's why it's giving some error. Okay, wow. Now see, so the class name is pen, and then I'm trying to access it, public static void main. I'm trying to access this function. First let's create an object for it. Pen, class name is pen, right? Pen, p1 equal to new pen, new pen. So using this p1 I can see, I can access these things: capacity, color, and then what we have is pen type. This and all we can what access actually. Correcta? So simple. If you are going to remove this now, if you are going to remove this now, that time you can't directly access this method. You need to create an object for it. You need to create an object for it. But if you write a static method, if you write a static keyword here, that time you don't need to create an object. இவ்வளவுதான். So let's remove this one is unnecessary now. So the structure of Java programming is, you need to first write a class and then test. This test class name na, it will be same, the name will be same as your file name. That's why I'm giving the name test. Why? Because see, you are not creating an object here, right? You are not going to create an object here. So அப்ப எப்படி வந்து இந்த main, but this main function you write inside na, this main function you write inside, it needs to call, the compiler needs to call this function, then only it will start the program, right? So அதை எப்படி பண்ணும் அப்படின்னா, implicitly using this class name, the compiler will know, like the test file name. If you are going to write the same name for this class name also, file name கம்பைலருக்கு தெரியும். ஓகே, டெஸ்ட்னு தெரியும். இப்போ அந்த கிளாஸ் நேமுமே நம்ம டெஸ்ட்னு எழுதிட்டோம் அப்படின்னா, if you write this same name, what it can do is, it can create an object internally and then call it. But you need to mention the method as static, then only it can access this main method. இப்படிதான் என்ன ஆகுது, main method கால் ஆகுது. ஓகேவா? So this is what you need to understand. Now I think, like, this is the structure. If you want to print something, you need to write system.out.print or println. In C you have this one, right? Printf. You have printf. And then in C++ you have cout. Like Python also you have print or print, like print you have, I think printf, I think. So in Java you have system, from system dot out dot println. Let's print hello world again. So this is the structure of Java program. I'm getting the output here, right? So this is what the structure. Now what we are going to say is, we are going to see what the data types. Let's move into it. So this and all we have covered, structure and all we have covered. Now class hello, what is a class? You know why we are putting this public static, this static keyword, why we are putting entry point, this and all, you know. This one prints output to the console, this one also, you know. Now straight away let's see what is a data type. See, நேத்து பார்த்த மாதிரி we are going to communicate with the system. Why we are going to communicate with the system? To perform some task. இல்லையா? We have some problem, we are going to solve it using computer, using coding. We are going to communicate with the computer and we are going to solve the particular problem. For that, the same scenario, if I tell me the 15th table, you know, I'm giving the data first. See, 15th table, 15 is a data, right? 15th table you need to answer, like 15 on is like that, or else I'm giving some some good task like print hello, like say hello 5 times. I'm giving two data here. What? How many times you need to repeat and what word you need to repeat. Hello, you're going to repeat for 5 times. This is the task I'm giving to you. Let's say hello, you need to print 5 times. Two data I'm giving here. One is the word you're going to repeat and how many times you're going to repeat that word. இல்லை வேற ஏதாச்சும் டாஸ்க் எடுத்துக்குவோமே. Let's say you are going to find the average of three numbers, or else you are going to find the greatest of three numbers. So what data I will give? The three numbers, like 10, 30, and then 29. The output will be 30. The calculations and all you have done using your brain, you have done, but the data I have given. So the goal is like you have to give some data to the computer, then only it can process it, and then it will return something as output, like what we deserve, what we write a logic to solve which kind of problem, like புரியுதுல்ல. So this is what. So to solve a problem we need to give some data, and again it will give again like as an output it will again send some data back. Correct? For that we need to know some data types. Mostly if you see na, um இப்போ நான் சொன்னேன்ல சில எக்ஸாம்பிள், லைக் யூ ஹாவ் டு ரிப்பீட் அ வேர்ட் ஃபார் 10 times. திஸ் வேர்ட் இஸ் அ டேட்டா டைப் ஆஃப் வாட்? அ ஸ்ட்ரிங். ஸ்ட்ரிங்னா என்னன்னா லைக் சீக்வன்ஸ் ஆஃப் கேரக்டர்ஸ். லெட்ஸ் டேக் ஹலோ. ஹலோ இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோமே. ஹலோல இட்ஸ் அ சீக்வன்ஸ் ஆஃப் கேரக்டர்ஸ். லைக் கேரக்டர்னா என்னது? ABCDEFG ஆர் அ சிம்பிள். H is a character, E is a character, L is a character, again L, O. Sequence of character, it became a string. These are data types. Data ka types. That's what we call as data types. Data's ka types. So what and all data we have? Let's say you're going to fill some form. Let's say you're going to join in a particular, like for this course and all, let's take you're going to join this course or any course, you're going to fill some form, right? So they are asking name, they are asking your name, let's say. So you will fill using what data type? String, right? Sequence of character. கரெக்டா? அருண் அப்படின்னு இருந்தா ARUN, sequence of character is a string name. And then the form asking your age எப்படி டெசிமல்ல கொடுக்க முடியுமா? No, right? Using integer. So int is a data type. They are asking your weight, let's say, height, let's say. You need to be precise, right? 180.23, like that centimeters if you're going to give. So decimal you can use. And then they are asking your blood group ABO, like that you can give one single character. So data type char. Like this you have some data types. Why we need it? Like this is the answer. We are going to solve some problem, we need to give some data to the computer, and then again it will give some data as outputs. இதுக்கு தான் data types வேணும். To communicate with the computer we need to see like this data I'm going to use அப்படின்னு. So what are the data types you have? Int you have, and then string you have, and then double you have, then float you have. Floatனா decimal, this and all, two decimal integers எல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் இல்லையா? And then char you have, then boolean you have. Boolean true or false, yes or no. If the form is asking like whether you are uh, 18 years old, 18 plus இல்ல அதுக்கு கீழயா, yes or no, like that. Boolean true or false. Are you willing to join this course? Yes or no. No, yes, like that you can answer boolean. Any other types? Byte you have. So many types you have. Short int you have, long int you have, long you have. நிறைய இருக்கு, போயிட்டே இருக்கு. ஓகேவா? So basic data types you need to remember. In Java we have two kinds of data types. We have two types, or you can say two types of data types. One is primitive. One is what? Primitive. And then second one is non-primitive. Non-primitive அப்படின்னு two varieties are there. Let's see what is. See, we have primitive and non-primitive. Primitive na என்ன அப்படின்னா, what is primary? Primary fuel அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். Primary fuel is coal is a primary fuel because we are directly digging up. எதையுமே நம்ம கிரியேட்டே பண்ணல. crude oil na, crude oil we will directly get it. crude oil is a primary fuel. Primary, எதை primary அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம்னா, whenever we are getting it directly, someone gives, earth gives us directly this and all. கரெக்டா? This is what primary, this is what primitive means. So secondary fuel அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம், which is non primitive. In this case, let's say you're like using this crude oil, you are making petrol, diesel, kerosene and all, right? So this will come under non primitive. Using primitive, using primary fuel, we are making another fuel which is derived from this primitive, primary. So we call it as non primitive or secondary. So here in this case, same. Primitive na system defined. System defined. This int, double, char and all what is a primitive type. Correct? So non-primitive example string. So char is a primitive type, right? Directly system defined. Like implicitla சிஸ்டமே வந்து அப்படி ஒரு கேர், இப்படி ஒரு டேட்டா டைப் இருக்கு அப்படின்றத டிஃபைன் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கு. யூ டோன்ட் நீட் டு டூ எனிதிங். We are not like deriving something from this primitive. So char is a direct. So using char, let's take string here. String, using like a sequence of characters, you are adding some characters. A irka, char grade A. Char, another one variable name is the ple. If you add this all, you will get apple. So apple is a string. See, I'm getting a type string from a character type. Correct? So a string is non-primitive here. I can say it like this, but technically primitive type means system defined, and non-primitive means we have created it for our own use. We have created it. And another difference is primitive type, when you are creating it, it will store in a stack memory. It will store in a stack memory. Stack na like you are stacking the plates. Stack memory na theriyum nenikiren. Like LIFO, it follows a LIFO principle. Stacked, the memories are stacked one by one. Okay wow? So it will be contiguous. It will be what? Contiguous. Non-primitive is not like that. Non-primitive uses heap memory. Heap na random, dynamic ஒரு இடத்துல போய் ஸ்டோர் ஆகும். Maybe if I want to give a pictorial representation, I can give like, see, this one is stack. இப்படிதான் stack memory இருக்கும். When you're creating something na, it will fill like this, one by one, and then two, and then three, like this, one by one. If you want to take it, you can remove this one first. If you want to remove anything, direct அதை remove பண்ண முடியாது. LIFO, last in first out. Last in first out. It follows this principle. So this one, when you are creating some primitive types na, that will be go under what? A stack memory, a contiguous memory la அது போய் உட்காரும். இதே heap memory, heap எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா, heap will look like this. Heap. So you're creating some memories now. Let's say I'm creating some string or any object. Whenever you're creating some object, it will be a non-primitive type. I have created a class pen here, right? I have created a class pen here. That class pen is actually an object. இது ஒரு object இல்லையா? This one is also a data type. See, it's one is a user defined data type. எனக்கு தேவையான மாதிரி இதை நான் வந்து இந்த data type நான் டிசைன் பண்ணியிருக்கேன், இந்த ஆப்ஜெக்ட்டை டிசைன் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். So this one is user defined. This is not system defined. That's why this memory will come under heap memory, non-primitive. An object is a non-primitive type. An object is a non-primitive type. I hope you understand. So dynamically it will store. Keep my contiguous allama, dynamically it will store in some random locations. Okay va? So this is the simple difference you need to know for now. So this is what a data type is. You have two types, primitive types which is built in, 8 types, and எவ்வளோ types இருக்குன்றதெல்லாம் இப்போதைக்கு you don't need to. Non-primitive types are objects. We call it as a reference because it refers something. Okay va? It refers something like reference variables, we can call it reference data types. Reference data types you can call it. Strings, arrays, classes, C classes and all what? A non-primitive type. Interface என்னன்னா நம்ம like In the next class we will see what is an interface. So array எப்படி ஒரு non primitive ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, what is an array? A list of data, right? A list of data types. So let's say I'm creating an integer array, 1 5 like 10 20 30 40 15 அந்த arrayல store பண்றேன் அப்படின்னா, it's a non primitive type because see I'm taking this primitive type integer, I'm going to use it. நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி primary field secondary அதை ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. I'm using this primary types to create another type which is an array which is non primitive. String, a character of arrays, sorry, an array of characters, an array of characters, an array of integers, an array of strings, classes which will have some attributes and then methods. So this and all what non-primitive, it will store under heap memory, this one stack memory, static memory. For your reference if you want, unlike primitives, non-primitive store references, memory address, not actual values. If you are creating some values now, see, if I create an primitive type int num equal to 10, it's storing some value, right? Stack memory, let's storing some value. But if you try to create an object now, if you try to create an object, this time you use new keyword. New keyword எப்பவுமே whenever you are creating, see remember this one is important. Whenever you are creating some non primitive type, whenever you are creating some non primitive type, an object type, you will use this new keyword. This new keyword will help you to create a memory heap in heap because this is non primitive. Correcta? So class is a non primitive, right? So I'm creating an object for no இங்க இருக்கிற class வச்சு சும்மா ஒரு object create பண்றேன் அப்படின்னா, I'm going to use like this new keyword because it be in will be stored in where heap memory. So creating a string string is non-primitive in Java. In Java, string is non-primitive. String, let's say name equal to new string. Like this I can create a string and then I can pass my name here, Sam, like this. I'm going to create a variable like double weight equal to 12.53, like this I can create. Double float, same thing. And then boolean, let's say boolean, flag, the flag will be either true or false, like this I can create. இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய data types இருக்கு. ஓகேவா? Now we are going to see. So this is what a data type is. Data type we have two types, primitive and non primitive. Primitive na stack la store ஆகும், non primitive na heap la store ஆகும். அவ்வளவுதான். primitive என்னன்னா செல்ஃப் டிஃபைன், சாரி சிஸ்டம் டிஃபைன், and then non primitive user defined, we are going to define it, right? So variables, what is a variable? See, பார்த்துட்டோம், like we are going to give some data to the computer, it will process it and then it will give some output. கரெக்டா? இப்படிதானே, இதான் நம்ம பண்ணோம், இதுதான் நம்ம அடுத்து திருப்பி இதையே தான் பண்ணுவோம். Will give some inputs, again it will give some data as output. idane. So again let me give another small scenario. I'm going to give a task like make a coffee. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ரேண்டமா ஒரு டாஸ்க் கொடுக்குறேன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். See everything like data and all I'm going to give. Coffee powder I'm going to give you, and then sugar I'm going to give you, milk I'm going to give you. Like for the task, for and the problem solve பண்றதுக்கு என்னோட ப்ராப்ளம் என்ன, இப்போ I want a coffee. This is the problem you are going to solve for me. என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? You are going, you know the recipe, you are going to make it, you are going to cook it, right? So let's say you are going to cook Maggi. என்னோட டேட்டாஸ் என்னது? I'm going to give some data like water இவ்வளோ எடுத்துக்கோங்க, and then Maggi packet, masala, everything I'm going to give, stove and all. You need to store it somewhere, right? Store பண்ணாம or else like எல்லாமே பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. Let's say you're not going to store anything, but you directly cooked it, but you're going to give it to me. அப்படியே கையில கொண்டு வந்து தர முடியுமா மேகி எந்தப்பா சாப்பிடு அப்படின்னு? No way, right? You're going to store it somewhere. Let's say I'm not going to eat it now, I'm going to eat it after 2 hours, let's say. And like அதுதான் நான் சாப்பிட போறேன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. You are going to store it somewhere, right? So to store your data types you need a container. அதான் variable. That's what a variable is. So I'm going to give my age. I'm going to give my age as an input for you. So you're going to store it. You need to create one variable, integer. First, to create a variable, the syntax is you need to mention the data type and then the variable name equal to the value. இதுதான் என்னது syntax. So the data type you need to mention. Like இந்த கண்டெய்னர்ல என்ன நான் ஸ்டோர் பண்ண போறேன். I'm going to store an integer. The variable name, you can give any name. You can give any name, age equal to and then the value. இப்போ நான் டைரக்டா ஹார்ட் கோட் பண்றேன் அப்படின்னா, let's say I'm directly giving my age like this, let's say. So this is what a variable is. அவ்வளவுதான் வேரியபிள் என்னன்னா just a container. So to create a variable na, to create a variable, while creating a variable, this one is important if you want to know in depth. While creating a variable என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, int age equal to 20. While the compiler is running this code, line number 8, it will create a space, a stack space. பார்க்கும் first data type என்னது, okay, integerக்கு எவ்வளவு space எடுத்து வைக்கணும் அப்படின்றத will like allocate some space and then copy this value and put it in that storage space, stack space போட்டு வச்சிரும் with the reference name age. So after this, if you try to access the variable name age equal to, it will give you 20. See, I'm typing here, it's showing right age. So you have stored somewhere, உங்க மெமரியில ஸ்டோர் பண்ணிட்டீங்க. Since it's a primitive type, you're storing it in a stack memory. If you create a non-primitive type, let's say name equal to new, then I'm going to store some value like let's say my name. So what will happen, you're going to create a heap memory and this value is going to store in the variable name da. Okay va, this is what will happen. But we need to see like while seeing data types, we need to cover that how much memory will be allocated. That what we need to see, right? Ada paapom. Okay va, now yes, variable, there are some rules to name your variable. First என்ன அப்படின்னா, நம்பர்ல ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகக்கூடாது. It won't start with a number like this. Let's say int 20 like one age and then int 2 age, இப்படிலாம் பேர் கொடுக்க கூடாது. The variable name should not start with a number, but you can end it with a number or you can use it like middle யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். You can end it எங்க வேணா யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். should never start in the like firstல ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணக்கூடாது, நம்பர்ல ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணக்கூடாது. ஓகேவா? and then you can't use a space here. Let's say first name equal to like this. You can't give a space here. Rather you can use underscore like this. You can see it's showing error. Why? Because the data type is different, right? String you need to give. Another thing, you can't use keywords. Let's say I'm creating a variable string main equal to my name. I'm going to give one name, random name I'm going to give. So like this I'm going to store now. This one actually will show an error. And now see, main is actually a keyword. You can't use a keyword static. You can use a keyword like string, int அப்படின்னு வேரியபிள் நேம ஒரு கீவேர்டா யூஸ், லைக் கீவேர்ட்ஸை வேரியபிள் நேமா யூஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. println இதெல்லாம் என்ன பண்ண முடியாது, வேரியபிள் நேமா we can't use because this word will have certain functionalities in the backend, right? So you can't use a keyword as your variable name. Then என்னென்ன பார்த்தோம், you can't start it with a number, space விடக்கூடாது, keywords யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது. and another thing, you can't use number, you can't use special characters like symbols. You can't use, let's say first at name equal to 200 like this. You can't put, see, it won't accept this symbols and all. and this one எந்த சிம்பிளுமே அக்செப்ட் பண்ணாது. then you have told like this na, string first name னு எழுதுறப்போ underscore மட்டும் யூஸ் பண்ணும். yes, this one is actually possible. You can use underscore. This one is exceptional. This one is what? Exceptional. You can use underscore. but you can't use any other special characters, symbols you can't use. This is what rules to declare your variables, rules to declare your variables. So casting and all we don't need. Operators பார்க்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி we don't. Okay, straight away we can go to operators. Before that maybe we can start Java operators. The memory allocation part I will start tomorrow. Okay, like int how many bytes it take, what happened in the back end all, because that and all like most important, we need to know that. So tomorrow papa ipo partha it will take so much time. So let's jump directly to operators. To perform some operations now, enabling logical decision making computational workflows, we need some operators like plus, minus, and then division, subtraction, because like most of the cases we are going to handle some data, right, numbers and all. We need to know, we need to do this operations, right? So we need operators to perform that operations, to manipulate the data, to compare the data, to logically get some outputs and all, to maintain the data. We need operators definitely. So these are the types of operator we have: arithmetic, assignment, relational, logical, unary, ternary, bitwise, shift. This everything you don't need. Arithmetic na enna the plus, minus, multiplication, division. I am just giving like a homework for you. Operators na enna path, because it's not a big deal. We're just going to use operators to perform some operations. இதில் முக்கியமான சிலதை மட்டும் பார்ப்போம். Before that, the syntax will be, let's say you are going to add two numbers. You have one number num1 equal to 20, int num2 equal to 30. You're going to add this two number and you're going to store it in your total. Let's say int total equal to num1 plus num2. Like this you can do. அவ்வளவுதான். இந்த மாதிரி நீங்க என்ன ஆப்ரேட்டர்ஸ் இருக்கோ எல்லாத்தையுமே யூ கேன் ட்ரை டு யூஸ் இட். லாஜிக் ரிலேஷனல் ஆப்ரேட்டர்ஸ்னா இட் வில் யூஸ் டு கம்பேர் திங்ஸ். லைக் திஸ் நம்1 and num2 you have na, if while checking condition you need to use some like conditional statements. If num1 equal to num2, this one is a conditional operator. Greater than or equal to, or greater than, lesser than or equal to, not equal to. Like that you have relational operators. அதே மாதிரி logical operators you have and, or, not. If both are true, and na என்னது, if both are true, if num1 is greater than 100 and num2 is also greater than 100, this time I'm going to add, this time I'm going to add my two numbers, let's say. So this one is and operator. And operator na enna, it will check the two condition. This two condition needs to be true. And enna adana artham, and it will check for the two conditions to be true, or na either any one condition is true, it will passes a true condition, it will return a true as output. If two conditions are false, it will return false as output. And, or, and then like not and all you have. Notna enna அப்படின்னா, if num, like you can write like this, if not num1, which means what, num1 is great, like 0 illa அப்படின்னா, if num1 is 0 na, it will what, actually இப்ப num1 0 இருந்தா it will do what, if num1 is 0, let's say, so not equal to 0, it will change that, right? It will change that. So depending upon that you will get an output. Depending upon that, not will change it. If it is a 0, it will change to 1. 1 na 0 மாத்திடும். Like that. Relational operator, assignment operator. See, assignment operator na, you are assigning a value here, right? For this variable you are assigning a value 20. For this variable num2 you are assigning a value 30. Like this assignment operator. And you also have this unary operators. Let's say int, in num1 I'm going to add some 10 extra. So what I can do, num1 equal to num1 plus 10 அப்படின்னு எழுதுறதுக்கு பதிலா you can straight away like write using unary operator, num1 plus equal to 10. This one also we called it as assignment operator. Same thing you can do, like minus equal to, multiply equal to, divide equal to, modulo equal to. Like that we have. assignment operators. And unary operators இப்போ சொன்ன மாதிரி like are going to perform some operation. Let's say num1 equal to num1 plus 1. இதை இப்படியும் எழுதலாம் num1 plus plus. This one we call it as unary. Which one we call it as unary. So it will add increment of 1 here. Num1 minus minus. It will decrement it. You have these two kinds of unary operators. Pre-increment. This one is post-increment, right? You also have minus minus num1. You can write like this also. Minus minus num1. This one is post decrement. If you are going to do post increment, plus plus num1, then minus minus. This one I'm doing after num1, right? I'm going to do it after I will get the value num1. So post. This one is pre. Again post pre. This and all comes under unary operators. அதே மாதிரி ternary operators you have. If you're not going to write a condition like this, if எழுதிட்டு then you're going to write one condition, then else you can directly write using this syntax, a question mark and then a colon. This is what a ternary operator. This and all not necessary. Like you can, if you want, you can put it down. And then shift operators. If you are going to live, like this one, we will cover when we are seeing bit manipulations. Okay, wow. So conditional statements. If I want to enter, we have if condition. The syntax is simple. You need to like if, and then you need to write your condition here, and then if the condition is true, it will execute the logic inside it. Logic. So this is what a simple if loop. You're going to give a condition. Let's say num1 இருக்குல்ல, num1 is equal to 100. Like that you can give any condition. So this is what a simple if block. I'm going to write a if else block. Let's say if condition 1, if the condition is true, execute this logic. If the condition is not true, it will come to the else block. It will operate here. Like if the condition is false na, false condition appo enna irum, it will come here. Let's see if else if. So if, and then you are going to give a condition 1. Let's say c1. If the condition is false, again you are going to check another condition 2. And if this one is also false, you're going to come to the else block. So if else. Nested if is there. Let's say if condition 1, if the condition is true, come inside, again check one condition, which is condition 2. If this condition is also right, again check a condition 3. And if the three conditions are logically correct, like conditionally correct, you can perform this logic. You can write anything here. Your logic enna nama panna poren, like what task we are going to do, like that you can. If this condition fails, it will come here else. Correct? If this condition 2 is fails, it will come here. If this condition is failed, you come here. You can also write if else if also here. New condition 1. Like that you can write like however you want, you can write. Okay, wow. So this is the simple syntax for conditional statements. If condition, if else, ladder you have. So looping we can start tomorrow for the time being. So let's try to solve a simple problem. like like a very simple problem. What it is you have a age. They will give an age. Let's say you're going to check if the age is greater than or equal to 18. எப்படி எழுதலாம்? If age, you can use comparison operator, like greater than or equal to 18, you're going to print what? System.out.print eligible. Else system.out.print not eligible. Simple, right? So let's say I am here hard coding the value. நான் வந்து like user இருந்து I want to get inputs. அந்த டைம்ல என்ன பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா, in Java you need to create a scanner object. A scanner object will help you to get inputs from the user. How to create a scanner object? They have already written it. So which one will come from this library? Import a java dot util dot scanner dot scanner. You have scanner. Okay, wow. From this library I will import one. See, this scanner, this one actually a class, this one is actually a class, this one is a like how can I say, you can simply like, I'm just copy pasting a scanner class here without writing everything what is inside the scanner class, which will help us to take inputs from the user. I'm just importing the file, I'm just importing the library here. So I can now create a scanner object. Scanner sc equal to just any name you can give. Let's say input equal to, how to create, like how you create an object na, the same like this you can create. And from where you are going to get the input? From system dot input. So this is the syntax to create a scanner object. I have created a scanner object. ஏன் இது object சொல்றேன்னா, actually the scanner is a class. Actually it's a blueprint. From this, using this class, I'm creating what? I'm creating what? An object, which is a scanner object. Which is a scanner. Using this scanner object, you can get inputs from the user. எப்படி? Let's say int age. I'm going to get input from the user. Input dot next integer, next int. I'm going to, like, let's say if you're going to get a string name from the user. Input dot this object, this one is the object we have created, right? Scanner object dot, it has an inbuilt method called next int. So it will help you to get an integer as an input from the user. And string க்கு வெறும் next or next line you can, let's say I'm going to get a double from the user, equal to input dot next double. You have like this, next char, next byte, அப்படியே போயிட்டே இருக்கும். ஓகேவா? சிம்பிள் this and all. Next போட்டுட்டு you need to mention the data type you are going to get from the user. So you need to create only one time. If you are going to create, like if you create an scanner object one time, you can use it n number of times. See, I'm using the same scanner object, input, right? So அதே pattern follow பண்ணுவோமா? I'm just going to check if the age is greater than or equal to 18. System.out.print eligible, else. See, this one is like child is na, this program and all, but we are starting, right? So we can't skip this one. Let's try to run it. It need to ask input. See, it's blinking here. So I need to give an input from the user. If I run it, it will ask for the input. Let's say I'm giving 20. It will print what? Eligible. Print what? Eligible. So again, let's test it. Now I'm going to give 12. It will print not eligible. Like that it will work. So again, let's try. Let's give 100 and like a minus value, -11. See, it's printing not eligible. ஒரு ஏஜ் எப்படி நெகட்டிவா இருக்க முடியும்? No, right? So I need to manage that case also. So I can write one condition. If the age is lesser than or equal to 0, you are going to print what? Enter valid input. Enter valid input. இதை கிராஸ் பண்ணாதான் இதுக்கே போகும். ஓகேவா? So I can write it here, and then if like else I can move here. You can check this logics. So let's try it. Let's say I'm going to give -12 again. See, enter valid input it shows. Let's again write 120. 120 kids saying eligible, but like it won't be like இப்போதைக்கு பாசிபிள் இல்லை இல்லையா நம்ம இருக்கிற சுச்சுவேஷன்ல இட்ஸ் நாட் he maybe died actually, he or she maybe. So to manage that case also you can give another condition இல்லையா, அதான பண்ண முடியும். After coming else you can check another condition. If the age is greater than or like greater than 100, what we can print, uh, congratulations, you are died அப்படின்னு print பண்ணிடுவோம். Else we are going to check this conditions. Else this condition, என்ன conditions, இந்த conditions எல்லாம் பாஸ் பண்ணியிருந்தாதான் he is actually a human and then we can verify his age. கரெக்டா, இந்த syntax எல்லாம் மாத்தணும்னு தேவையில்லை, but just I'm doing it. So let's run it again. I'm going to give an like, let me run it again. See, I'm going to give 120. It prints this, congratulations, you are died. Let's try again. 12 not eligible, 18 eligible, 0 பொறக்கவே இல்லை, enter valid input, like this. So this is what conditional statements. Now I think for today's class this is enough, because it's nearly 1.5 hours. Tomorrow we will start with looping and then arrays and all, and we can directly start our like a mini project. Okay va? I think hope this class helps you. Give me a thumbs up if you got everything, or if you have any doubt you can ask.